Come on, video game. Give me control of my cursor. Right, there we go. Alright, chat. Another late night stream. What do you want to do next? I think we were urged to return... Yeah, go back to the palace at Serpent's Crown in Nekataka. So I think that's what I want to do next. Just sail back to Nekataka and turn this in and see if it leads to our next series of quests. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. There you go. Attaboy.
You blink and find yourself standing in the knee-high grass of an endless field, with the day just falling into dusk. Then, the earth falls away. The wind ceases, and you are sent tumbling up into the dark of the sky.
Watcher.
The voice of the Pallid Knight shakes the earth at your feet.
Ruh-roh, we've got company.
You have returned to Bareth's realm. Your soul once more called to attend the wishes of the God of Death.
Once again, you have spoken with the Child of Light. Tell me what you have learned.
He makes for Magron's teeth.
Intriguing.
The Pallid Knight stares past you, pensive.
Wow, attend. Tell me what your many eyes perceive.
Her words ring out, and a heavy silence descends. In the silence breaks the murmur of countless voices. They speak all at once in languages both known and unknown to you.
I just want to give props to whoever did the illustrations for these, because they're really pretty incredible.
In the space beside Bareth, an eye blinks open, followed fast by several more. They are round, keen eyes of Kith, the slit eyes of snakes, the small, dark marbles of birds, the bulbous lanterns of deep-sea fish.
Here we are.
A figure walks through the cloud of eyes as one might step through a door. It is an Orlan, then a pale elf, an ocean human, a Naga. Each of them eyeless. They are well.
This is the first interesting thing to happen in ages. And we do so love a riddle.
The figure wears an Amawa's grin, and the many voices beneath its own titter.
We see between the strings of the world, and Eothas is there, strumming them like a lute. His tongue is still, yet he sings of a coming joy. What tune he plays, we do not know. It is complex, ever-shifting. One moment vibrating in harmony, the next in discord.
A man strides through the door to Bareth's realm. Behind him lope wolves with lolling tongues, and jungle cats whose long tails twitch with every step. Galawain, the changeling, arrives, and he brings with him the wild heart of Aora's untamed places. Fast on Galawain's heels, a small wave of seawater washes across the tiles. It pours off the edge of the platform and cascades down into the beyond. From out of the water rears a glowing lure, then the head of a gigantic fish. The round black eyes of Andra roll to meet yours.
Eothas is nothing if not resourceful. I admire his nerve.
In the changeling's voice, you hear the soft patter of rain on leaves, and the rush of wind through treetops.
We're just keeping our mouth shut through this whole ordeal, chat.
If his journey leads him back to us, he has proved himself worthy of return to the fold.
Eothas does not return to us. He returns to execute some grand plan. We must stop him.
Andra's voice rises like a tide, panic riding its crest. The doors lining the walls of Bareth's realm slam open in unison. Warped pieces of ancient armor and the remnants of discarded weapons roar through the doorways. They meet in the center of the room, in a shower of sparks and form, the vague figure of a man. Finally, a blacksmith's sledge hurtles past your shoulder, and the figure snatches it from the air. A man forged in metal stands before you. Twin flames ignite in his eyes, and a low rumble starts in his chest. He walks forward. With each halting, jerky step, you're assaulted with the unbearable screech of metal grinding upon metal.
We should destroy Eothas, that we might reforge him into something new, something stronger. He could be a weapon that all of us might wield.
Abaddon's words carry the heat of the forge. Behind them, you hear the clang and clatter of hammer on metal, and the hiss of just quenched steel.
Abaddon speaks with wisdom. He violates not their realms, but mine. I feel his urgency in every stamp of his feet along my spine. I will send tsunamis to slow him, if Mogren would stir the earth beneath Mogren's teeth.
The water at your feet recedes. Lava oozes up through the shallow water, and a woman made from the guts of the earth emerges. She settles her characteristic broadsword on her shoulder, and sighs a cloud of smoke and ash. Mogren returns.
In the age when our steps carved valleys across the face of Aora, our bodies were impervious to all but the strongest attacks. I doubt fire and water will be enough to stop him. But I will bear down upon Eothas with all the heat and fury of the earth. If I must.
There must be another way to stop him.
The death of thousands now could prevent the death of millions later.
A difficult calculus, but a logical one, too.
The deep, bellowing cry of an aurochs shakes the ground beneath your feet. The cry drones on and on, a moan without end. Wal's many eyes squeeze shut. Andra slips back beneath her waves. Mogren dissipates in a swirling cloud of steam. Galawain's beasts cower and whine. Only the pallid night stands impassive.
My end comes to all things in time. Should Eothas care to hasten the inevitable, I welcome his efforts.
I don't understand.
Eothas seeks a slate wiped clean. Freedom from the endless revolutions of Barath's wheel. The final emancipation of the countless stolen mortal lives the gods hoard within themselves.
The Child of Light will not choose the hour of my death.
Mogren tests the edge of her broadsword with a smoldering finger.
He sows chaos in his longing for a radiant dawn. So much will be lost in the cacophony of fear his actions inspire.
The crack of thunder rends the air. The gods fall silent.
It's Zeus!
We can wait no longer to act. Speak with him, Watcher. Discover what it is he plans.
I'll do my best.
Water begins to creep across the floor. It swells, runs swiftly, and catches at your ankles. You scrabble at the tiles, but it's no use. The current's pull drags you off the edge of Barath's realm, and into the fathomless beyond. You splash down in water so dark you can't see the bottom. Then, the water recedes, gone like a dream upon waking. The hard wood of your cabin's floor presses against your spine. The gods are gone, but you remain.
Wonder if there's anything worth. Fragments of the Blade of Endless. Whoa! Shards are no longer of use to anyone unless they could be reforged. Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna grab this stuff. I had no idea there were potentially useful items in here. I hope this letter finds you in good health. It has been many summers now since you first arrived in Gilded Vale. Much has changed in those years for both of us. I do not know if you remember me, but the day you came to my door is not one I will forget. For months afterwards, I wrestled with my faith and my fear, and still the gods have blessed me with a son. He's healthy and strong. Alright, that's good. He's above 75% HP. So, and already so curious. All of Gilded Vale dotes upon him. I have told him of you. He asks constantly after the Watcher who restored his spirit and hopes one day to meet you. Until then, know that we keep you in our prayers. Your most grateful servant, Afra. I guess that's a character from the first one, though not one I remember. I wonder if it's worth coming back to the ship occasionally. I'm sure there are probably interesting things to do here, like the steward. I can interact with it. JK, that button, she does nothing. Alright, back on deck. Alright. Video game. Give me Seashanties. I think I'm almost 40 hours into this game. No Seashanties yet. Come on. Fix it. Alright. The colorful parrot alights on the railing of your ship. A missive bound to its leg bears the sigil of the Kahunga tribe. Queen Onakaza's missive. Captain Kells, it would be my honor to host the savior of Hasongo at the Kahunga Palace. Nekataka is a city for the Huana and outsiders alike, and there's no shortage of work for Kith who are determined to be as useful as you. Should you have the stamina for a good climb, the palace atop Serpent's Crown could be your second home. Think on it. Hell, boys, we're in now. Royalty wants us to shack up with them. I feel like that's probably a pretty good deal. Yeah. Let's hit the palace. Turn this quest in, see where it goes from here. So the game gave me a quest and a sailing intermission to get me to come back here as soon as possible, so. Game designers are pushing, I'll follow. Yeah, so I guess we just talk to the queen or to whoever's here that I can talk to about this. Maybe her brother?
Do not leave me in suspense, I say. Have you found Matario Cozy?
No, okay, so this is not immediately relevant to her. The chanter, maybe? Grateful for hospitality. Yeah, I am. Don't get me wrong. Okay, let's fast mode and let's go to the second floor. Not quite sure where the correct place to present myself here is. Giggity chat, presenting ourselves. And the game did it again. I'm glad I noticed it this time.
Make as good a target as any.
But it reorganized my party again. I guess when it kicked everyone out when the gods called me on the ship. It's really frustrating that it doesn't remember the order of your party members. Let's see, Barati's here.
I thought the tribes needed them to calm the weather.
The belly of the great eel roars with hunger.
Yeah, okay, so Barati's just the commonplace bounty hunter in this city. I guess those are just side quests to make sure you've always got a place to earn experience. Apprentice Yergar. Sure, let's give it a go. Okay, I'm loving the specs. You meet a tall brown-haired man dressed in a full male plate. That might not normally catch your eye, but his mail is unusual, colored a deep green and emblazoned with the image of a golden tree. Hand on the pommel of his sword, he watches the crowd go on with keen eyes, relaxed yet fully alert. He narrows his eyes when he spots you.
What do you need of me?
He looks at you warily, as if he is deciding whether you are a snake that might bite.
Well?
Tell me about yourself. He's initially hesitant, unsure of your intent. Eyes narrowed, he sizes you up, then nods. Interesting armor you have there.
I suppose it is. Are you familiar with the shield bearers of St. Elka? We are a paladin order.
I'm gonna shake my head.
The order began as guards for Elka, a noblewoman emissary of Kulkin, who bartered for peace with the kingdom of Vadir. The order's founders were forbidden to bring weapons to the meeting, and she was attacked. With only their shields to aid them, they fought off her attackers and brought her to safety.
Ironically enough, I played a paladin in the first game, and I think that's actually the order that my character was in.
She later died of her wounds, and the shield bearers of St. Elka were born in her memory. I am the son of a disgraced noble family. My father and brothers were executed for treason when I was a boy. Rightfully so, I must add. And my mother, sister, and I were thrown out on the street. All we had to our names was a trunk full of heirlooms. One of them was this suit of armor, which belonged to my eldest brother. Now I endeavor to live up to its promise and redeem my family's honor. That's the long and short of it, really.
Can you teach me what you've learned as a member of the Shield Bearers?
Well, you would need to become a shield bearer yourself to really learn it all. I suppose I can teach you a thing or two as we stand here. The privilege will run you 3,000 copper, however.
No, I don't think so. I'm good, dude. So he's a trainer, potentially a party member. That's not the button I was going for, chat. Let's see, 8 grand. Okay. We've actually managed to get quite a nice little purse going. Go to the palace at Serpent's Crown. Officials? Which official? Queen's not here. She may be only here during certain, but it is the day, so she should be here. This is the guy that discovered the island, the geographer. The sun... Excuse me, chat. The sun-scarred Huana glances up from the rumpled sheet of parchment in his hands and regards you with unease.
A Tepu, drawer of maps. I have nothing to sell unless you are needing something else.
You're the cartographer who discovered Matare Okazu. Motare Okozi. Right? Matare Okozi? Yeah. Correct?
What I discovered remains to be seen. The Sanctuary Isles were thought to be lost beneath the waves. If I stumbled upon one, I can think of worse finds to credit my name.
How did you make this discovery?
I was surveying the waters around an atoll when a storm dragged my ship off course. The waters were unknown to me. When a green fleck appeared in my spyglass, I unfurled my sail. The shore twisted around itself, confusing even this old navigator until I found myself at the center. I did not make it far up the beach before I spotted signs of habitation. Marking my coordinates and orienting myself by the evening sky, I made for Nekataka to tell the crown of my findings.
If I was venturing to this island, what might I find?
Death. I did not mean to frighten you. These islands have known great tragedy, and millennia have passed in cheerless silence. Should you land on a sanctuary isle, do not expect to find welcome.
Alright, well... warn me, I suppose. Technically, this is all free. Doesn't count as stealing for whatever reason.
You must gather your...
Alright. Video game. It's time to tell me who you actually want me to talk to here to progress this storyline. Oh, the rooftop. Maybe she's like having a party up there. Oh, she actually might be. Oh, she totally is. Right, chat. So this looks like the potential for a boss fight. I wonder if you can pistol roll at some point, or do this as one of the final fights in the game, because this is perfect. Little arena, 2 tigers that have a lore-based reason to be here that you could add to the fight. It's a neat idea,
It
at
is
the very
high
least.
time we spoke away from the exhaustive filter of the court. My children, Kahopa and Tangaloa, it is to them that I answer when dignitaries do not pound at my door.
I think I speak for all of us when I say we'd be honored to pet your children.
Go on, Ader, you take the honors.
Trick with cats, of course, is you gotta ignore them first. Get them interested.
We are of one mind. My mother taught me to bait an enemy into the open. Give it comfort and confidence. A messenger from the jaws of Tangaloa speaks with the voice of wisdom and change, I say. It is fitting that yours should be the voice that tells of Hasongo's fate. What did you see there?
So Naga occupied the colony after Aerthus drained the Adra. I let them live.
The snakes are on edge. Where comes this new boldness? Far be it for me to complain if they make trouble for outsiders. What of Aethys? If you know why he terrorizes the Deadfire, speak on.
He makes for Margram's teeth, but I believe that is only a waypoint. Tapping her chin, Anakaza nods and weighs the matter. At length, her even expression spreads into a pleased and knowing smile.
If Aethys makes for Magran's teeth, I say the Rathun will grind him to dust for the praise of their warrior matron. Even if they fail, it will be an enemy cleared for my plate. This is the gratitude of Nagati, I say.
Rathun?
The fiery children of Magran devoted to their mother with a fanatic zeal. Bothersome, but the least of my troubles now.
That explains the level 3 warning on the quest.
From Port Mage to Hasongo to Magran's teeth, Aethys follows a rich vein of Adra. It takes him northeast to more interesting territory. In the deepest memory of the tribes, we have told stories of Magran's teeth. Embellished sailors' fables, Akira, but not without some truth. My people speak of treacherous seas, lakes of fire, and the ancient warriors hammered to life on Magran's anvil. Ashen Maw is the grandest and most accessible of the peaks. It is the sharpest tooth in Magran's jaw. Prepare yourself for a fight.
Any chance of support ships to accompany the Defiant?
Akira, would that our resources were not so entangled in other parts.
Uh-huh.
I cannot send ships to Magran's teeth any more than I would send paper dolls to a furnace. If you make preparations in Nekataka, I say we can help each other. I must keep the city's peace, and I have only so many arms and eyes. While the Deadfire screams, I would see Nekataka outlast the storm to come.
What do you need from me?
What I need is a lasting peace that will outlive my dynasty. But I will accept peace of mind for now. What do you know of my water shapers, Herald of Bereth?
I know they gave Rawatai no end of trouble in their early advance.
Akira, if you recall history, then you know why I am protective over the guild. My water shapers are the levy holding back Rawatai's advance. An adept standing at the prow of a war canoe is enough to send the fleet scrambling for the shallows. This reminds me, I owe the Hazanui a basket of koiki in remembrance of the Battle of Nekaro Atoll.
Sounds like a kind gesture?
Akira, you think so? I am counting on the Hazanui seeing through my condolences. While the problems of Aethys and overindulgent admirals plague these waters, I have summoned the masters of water shaping to Nekataka.
He's trying to provoke war?
Now would be the time to confer with Guildmaster Myru. but she does not answer my summons.
Do you think something is wrong?
It is too early to grow a forest from this coconut, but I would not dispatch you if I felt at ease. The guild can suffer no setbacks. If Myru shirks her duties, her queen would know the reason. Nagati, do not abandon us now.
Yeah, she's up to something.
Yeah, right.
Guildmaster Myru, okay. Shadow under Nekataka. Oh, this is all building towards the under part of this city. This is also a much higher level quest. Okay. Okay, so... potentially need to find something else to do with our time? Probably this. Matario Cozy is probably our next destination, I think, the way things are going. We've also leveled to level 9, right? Yeah, we've hit 9, so let's go ahead and level up. Survival, 10 athletics. Ah, interesting, okay. What is this? Just to completely avoid any attack and to convert some hits to critical hits. 5% resistance, 5% of hits converted to crits. 4 deflection. No, the 4 deflection's not bad. Lowering their initiative penalty, that doesn't bother me as much. Let's see, unbending. The fighter draws strength from their own indomitable spirit, causing them to regenerate a portion of the health lost from each attack. This is instant. For 2 rounds, 25% of damage turns into healing. I'm guessing our stances are going to be more useful here. Enemies that disengage from the fighter are immediately attacked and proned, if successful. Each nearby enemy reduces the fighter's initiative. When hurt or above, the fighter's accuracy bonus increases. When bloodied or below, the fighter's deflection bonus increases. I would just like to point out again, this enhanced UI is brilliant. Like the hurt with the 3 bars and the bloodied with the 2 tells me 75% and 50%. Yep. Okay, really, really nice little indicator there. I'm in Guardian stance most of the time, because we just take less damage per engaged target. And that feels really good. Current bonus is 0. Oh. Current bonus. Oh. This isn't... Okay. I thought this +5 was saying I'm currently at 0% from defender stance. But this is saying if you were reading this while you had enemies next to you, it would indicate how much you're protected from. So yeah, this is the only part of the upgrade as I thought originally. Enemies that disengage from the fighter are immediately attacked and proned, if successful. They just don't run very much, but maybe fear will help with that? I just don't use these other stances enough. This could be better. I should probably use our single target stance more often, but I think I'll just get the improved... Yeah, let's get the improved Guardian. This doesn't feel great, because it requires you to take damage, which means if you dodge or they miss or, you know, it feels worse. You want them to hit you for this to work, but you also don't want to take damage. So I don't know if that feels great. This recovers more. Fighter and their allies also gain the Resolute Inspiration. That could be better. Using it as a buff, I think, feels okay. We have after this. Sweeps them the large art, making a primary attack on each foe and knocking them back and prone. Oh shit, okay, I am excited for the next tier of abilities. That's going to be sweet. But I think for right now, we might just take 4 deflection. Melee and range attacks are not area of effect. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna take the extra deflection. I think that feels pretty good to me. Might be that's the worst one in the entire game, but we're winging it here, chat. We're winging it. Alright. Abjuration. Through force of will, the paladin can destroy any spirit or summoned creature below the paladin's level. Spirits and summoned creatures equal to or greater than the paladin's level take raw damage. That's a very respectable amount of damage. It's 4 zeal though, which is rough. Any luck, righteous soul. Immunity to poison and disease. That's pretty sweet. The reinforcing expectation commands an ally to redouble their efforts, improving their deflection and granting them fit. Okay. This is nearby enemy. Allies gain deflection. Damage taken by affected enemies is greatly increased. That could actually be pretty sweet. So, plus 40% damage taken for 1 round. But what if they shirk this off before she can? Okay, I still think that's probably worth it. Bit upgraded heart, and I think abjuration, because that just sounds too good. Eliminating spirits or doing a decent amount of damage to them I think could be really, really helpful for certain encounters. We gained Wicked Briars, which sprouts 3 thorny vines from the ground, causing them persistent pierce damage to and hobbling to any that remain in the area of effect. We can do Revive the Fallen, grants fallen friends a second chance, reviving unconscious allies in the area of effect and restoring a small amount of their health. They only revive with 50 though. Doesn't feel great. Places a magical seal on the floor that bursts into flame when an enemy comes into contact with it, blinding them and inflicting burn damage. It's a hazard AoE, so I believe that's friends and foes? Litany for the Spirit grants a single target the acute inspiration, plus 5 intellect, and use their abilities and spells at plus 1 power level, and that's for 10 rounds. Okay, Litany for the Spirit seems really strong. Bar casting could also be good. Barring Death's Door. Prevents a severely injured character's health from reaching 0 for a brief moment, so you just can't die for 1 round. Grants a divine favor to an ally, imbuing them with resolute and tenacious inspirations, as well as a bonus to engagement while the effect lasts. So that could be crazy on Aider, so I think I might actually just take... We're definitely taking Litany for the Spirit, because that and the Mage seems nuts. Summon weapons. Increase wielder's level. This actually seems really good. I need another level 2. Like, maybe this is a shitty idea. But I've always got level 2 casts left over, and if I could buff myself, because if these scale... That's pretty nuts. 2 all inspiration power levels, another enemy engaged. I think I'm taking this. Fuck it, we're doing it, chat. And we're just gonna make sure that we are actually using that weapon set.
Huh?
Alright, the mage should be interesting as always. Lots of spells to read here, most likely. Yep. Alright. Archimede's Wondrous Torment drains the target's resolve, intellect, and perception, and creates 2 lesser versions of the effect that jump to nearby enemies when the first effect ends. That's pretty sweet. Essentially, it's a terrifying inferno of flame around the caster, inflicting burn damage on everyone nearby. For how long? Just a single... It looks like that's just a single shot. Causes enemies in the area of effect to envision their worst fears, afflicting them with weakened and terrified. That's pretty good. Terrify's sweet. Target is immobilized. Comes an anchor for a frigid ray of energy from the wizard that does freeze damage to all creatures in its path. It lasts for 2 rounds. Target and the beam. Okay. So that could be pretty sweet. Form of the helpless beast. Transforms a single kith enemy into a pig. The pig has very poor defenses, but can move quickly. That's 50% stride. So that seems really strong, but we get it from our grimoire as well. Blast of Frost. Anyone caught in the conical. Okay, conicold. Gotcha. Malignant Cloud. Raw damage every few seconds. It only lasts a single round. A wall we could run through? That doesn't seem great. Summon Sitzel's Spirit Lance. Increased reach. A foe-only blast explosion when striking. Could be good, chat. Could be very good. Momentarily fall asleep, falling prone until the effect ends or they receive damage. Call to slumber cannot affect vessels. Interrupt enemies, gain a ton of defense on yourself. Hey, what's up, Goldbullen? How you doing, man? Welcome back to the stream. Yeah, no, I've been thinking about the passives as well. Spell Shaping seems like it could be good. All of the +1 penetration abilities also seem really, really strong. I don't know that I like Tough. I don't know if Tough is retroactive, but I think even if it is, I don't know if +2 is good enough to warrant a point. I don't think it is. This 5% miss, 5% crit also doesn't seem great. Faster casting can be nice for interruptions, but we haven't had a major issue with that yet. So I'm still kind of up in the air on what I want to do with those. Haven't quite decided. This thing sounds like it could be good. The problem is, the only thing that makes me wary is this doesn't tell me what that explosion's like. Oh, wait, right click. Here we go, maybe it tells me in here. Yeah, more for a melee wizard, but sometimes I feel like we're there. I have a build, I could do it. This actually seems like it could be good for boss fights. Maybe not. I'm thinking the fear seems good. Being able to terrify something seems pretty strong. So I think we might go with this. And I have a lot of fire-based things, so maybe I go with the fire penetration. Every few seconds. The problem is I don't know, like... I feel like this might be good in the real-time version. I just don't know how good this is going to be in turn-based. Call to Slumber seems okay, but not great. I'm not in trouble enough to really think that this is worth it. Sometimes I also feel like I just want more damage, though. Like, this seems pretty good, too. because I'm such a combination. Most of my stuff's fire, though. Most of my damage is fire. Yeah, you think fire pen? Yeah, I'm thinking fire pen as well, maybe, because none of these stand out as being great, and most of my direct target damage stuff is fire. So I think, yeah, we'll take fire pen. Let's see, and then Seraphin's our last one to upgrade. Up bluff and stealth. I'm assuming that, like every RPG, you just dump into a single thing. So this is this feedback passive that looked interesting, but I don't know that anything has targeted him once. Like, I don't know if this even would have triggered in the first 30 hours of gameplay, so I don't know that it's actually as good as I want it to be. Let's see what else we have. Attacks an enemy's intellect and perception, causing those, boosts our defenses. So it's a debuff buff combo. Detonate splinters the target's soul with sheer force, inflicting raw damage to them. Near death targets explode, causing crush damage. All those in the area of effect. Deeper bonus to damage, plus 30%. Yeah. Focus gain seems good. I might go with Draining Whip. Let's see, Ringleader imprints an insidious and powerful compulsion to relay the cipher across all enemies in the area, dominating the target and charming all others. That's been pretty good. Or the single target of this has been pretty good. It literally got us through the giant grub fight. Without the single target repeated domination, we never would have won that fight. Secret Haulers is good. Yeah. Let's see. Echoing cause a reverberating wave to wash over all those near target ally, granting for revolve, inspiration, removing concentration from enemies. Granting the cipher and their ally the aware inspiration and increased engagement limit. Yeah. What are you up to tonight, Gold? You're in the UK, right? So it's probably it's probably like midday. Oh, you're in Sweden. Okay, I don't know why I thought UK. So it's what? It's like midday there for you, or evening now, maybe? Or morning? It could be any of the times. 7:53 a.m.? Oh god, it's early, dude. Power to you for being up. Or to having not gone to bed. Start with additional focus could be nice. Okay, I'll just take your recommendation and go with this because I don't really have a strong feeling on any of the others. Right, so what am I doing now? So now we're gonna go, we need to rest. Rest and take care of our injuries. Then figure out wherever the guild is. I guess let's check our log before we go anywhere. Shadow under Nekataka. Water Shapers Guild, Pariki's Overlook. Alright, sounds good. Can we actually get out of here? Yeah, we can.
You must gather your party before venturing.
Yes, yes, narrator. We're coming, we're coming. What are you playing these days, Gold? You just finished this one. Have you played, if you like CRPGs, which I'm assuming you did because you played this and you're watching someone stream it, have you played Divinity 2 yet? Original Sin 2? Let's see, let's go over to Pariki's Overlook. I don't think we've stopped in here at all yet, so who knows what's gonna happen. Sold it. Played it for about 5 hours. Too tired to begin for real. But after you slept or you installed it like 5 hours ago. Okay, I gotcha. It's great. I'm super jealous that you get to go through that for the first time. I think that's actually the best RPG game I've ever played. I was blown away. I was so impressed.
I've never seen Aruihi run so fast.
That is to say, I had a friend today who also liked it a lot, who told me that Pathfinder, Kingmaker, or whatever that is, that was only sort of moderately on my radar, because it got kind of mixed reviews. He says that it's great. They've patched it, and it's apparently really good now. So I've been meaning to look into that one, but I haven't tried it yet. I picked up Warhammer 3 Kingdoms today. I'll probably play that. You play that after Divinity. Hey, Guld, you and I, man. We may be playing these games.
Folk, suppose this be why.
Looks like we might be playing the same games for the next couple of months or weeks, however long that takes. Alright, well shit went south here at some point, so we're gonna stealth. Just make sure we don't run into combat completely unprepared. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. People are on the map, so here we go. 750 plus hours. Wow. I think that's more than I have in, like, Team Fortress. And I played a lot of Team Fortress.
Go no further. There is a situation in the guild hall. All is under control, I say. But the building is closed until Myru cleans up the mess below.
Anakaza sent me to speak with Myru. What is happening?
Nothing beyond the likes of us, I say. Naga swam in from the waterways of our sanctum. We pressed back until they fled underground. Then Myru gathered her forces for a stand at Pariki's tomb.
Is that 700 what difficulty? This is veteran. Not Path of the Damned. The one just below that.
While she routs the last of them. Kira. But Myru is fierce for her years. Ha! I say you will have to run fast. She could cut through Naga like a harpoon through blubber. I will remain and dispatch any snakes who slither past you. Good hunting.
Myru forbade me from following her, but I say Ngati would not want me to miss this.
I'll take all the help I can get.
Then let us be off. Ngati's chosen will bring his foot down on the back of every wriggling snake. Lead on.
Oh, sweet. Okay, this is actually a character that joins the class. That's why you have so many hours? Okay, gotcha. I wasn't sure if you had tried, like, the ultimate challenge. I was watching a couple streamers try that, just for a little bit, because I didn't want too many spoilers. And that seemed crazy to me. I don't know that I want the druid. I kind of like my party composition as is. So I think I'll just keep it for now.
Ahoy, bye.
Go down and see what we're up against. Yeah, this game, playing on veteran hasn't actually been too bad so far. The only thing that I found really strange is that some of the quests will say that you're of the appropriate level, and then you'll go to do them, and the boss, like the thing that comes to mind is we had the quest to go under the city for Dario, and to look for the mural on the wall. And we found it, but the grub guarding it was this massive giant thing that was several levels above us. And the only way we managed to kill it was because it's weak to domination, mental domination. So we'd take control and then friendly attack it. And then when it wore off, we'd just pick it up again. It basically never got to act. It just stood there as a punching bag the whole time. Which felt kind of cheap, but I also have no fucking clue how you were supposed to beat that any other way. So I don't know. That quest has been a little frustrating, but that's the only one that's really done that so far.
Expertise, but this looks unwell.
I found something. An heavy bullet
Over there.
Scoria, sweet. Seems like drugs. I'm good with drugs. Yeah, maybe there was a special thing that you could do to make it easier, but I did not find it. But it was still fun. It was a good fight. It was a fun bit of exploring, and it was a nice, sort of flavorful thing. I have a feeling we're coming back to that mural in that room here fairly soon. You only played on Path of the Damned difficulty, and it was still easy. Yeah, I generally like to play games on the hardest difficulties. But I always find with right, because you have the thing with CRPGs where sometimes the hardest difficulty requires you to be absolutely optimal from the get-go, otherwise you're kind of fucked. And I wanted to avoid that. But do what we can on Veteran. The stone door is sealed shut. A few engraved symbols stand out among the other carvings and inscriptions. Apart from that, you find no evident means of opening the way. A faded inscription is nestled among the elaborate stone carvings. Lack the perception. Read the inscription. Huana runes decorate the stone entrance. Nagati would not have gifted her chosen people a watery covenant unless they persisted in deserving it. This sanctum is a covenant of our making. Only the sigil of the covenant and the words of my devotion will open the way. Yep, duh. Didn't think that would work. Worth a chance. Worth a shot. Yeah, this one's fairer about it. Well, that's good. I'm glad this is better than some CRPGs that are just crazy. I do agree, though, the ultimate challenge looks... I don't know if I'd say boring, but tedious, maybe, is the better word. Just the, like... Yeah. Because you know there's going to be a lot of trying and retrying on stuff. I'm not paying enough attention to this, but we should be fine. Just a couple of Naga. Alright, now I wanted to test this spiritual weapon on Jody. So I actually think that'll be somewhat helpful.
Very well, cockswabber.
Okay, let's see. Probably just expose on these two. Gina can just go in, hold the archer. Oh, we have things joining us from down the hole. I was not paying attention. We should be fine, though. I'm not worried about any of this. Moderately big hits, but nothing too crazy. Can I engage both of you? I can't. Speed this combat up just a little bit. Animations are taking a while. Alright. We definitely have more Naga coming in. So let's see. I want to see what these stats are like. 3 deflection against melee weapons. That seems pretty good. The lantern was most of the reason we picked this up. My first time I was here, the game was bugged. Even if I had the correct level, all mobs in here had 3 red skulls. Oh, that sounds miserable. Just actually miserable. I think what I actually want to do is back away from you. And let's put Litany of the Spirit on the mage. Oh, that's instant. Okay, cool. Let's actually have Jody kind of stand somewhere she can intercept one of the warriors. Interesting. The archers are running right past us and not attacking. Greater Stormblight. Ooh, that's actually a lot of Naga. Alright, this is a lot scarier than I thought it was going to be. What do we want to do now, chat? Let's see. Body attunement. Awaken and confuse. Try silent scream. That's a pretty good AoE for a stun. has to be on a single target. Oh, we can hit these. I'm down. I'll give it a go. Alright, so we now have a very strong wizard, or we should have a very strong wizard. But this is a cone. They take 100% frost damage, which is nice. Let's see if we can try and get more people with that. Let's actually try... I know what I want to do. I want to put tentacles down here to try and intercept anything else that comes through the door, because I think there's another warrior or two on the other side.
I am ready.
Pelagina. Destroy any spirit or summoned creature that's a lower level than her. Is there any way to see if this counts as being summoned? Other than just having Wikipedia open, I guess? Probably not.
What do you need?
Haters reduced healing should be fine. Let's do deadly strikes. I don't know why he's not engaging both of them. Do I have to actively attack? Okay, the interrupt's really frustrating there. Not sure where everyone's going at this point. Don't know if the AI is just being weird. Or bad, more like. Very possible they're just being bad. Can also just nuke things for 100 here. I think this is what we're gonna do. Jody's gonna try and put down a little further north. Let's put down consecrated ground. Right, that was a pretty good hit. Can't complain about that one. What do we want to try and do though? Probably just start killing that thing. Oh, crit for 30. Alright, please, double crit. Can you stop? Video game, don't do this to me. You asshole.
No rush, but if you have any antidotes handy,
yeah, we'll just kill these off. He in the wrong stance? He is in the wrong stance. That's why he's not engaging people. I don't know when his stance changed. Oh, well that was really unfortunate. We just got double crit into low initiative and...
Happy to oblige.
This has actually gone from being okay to being a slightly worrisome event here. Oh, what do we want to do, chat? What do we want to do? Might just have to do the AoE heal here. I think that's actually exactly what I'm going to go with.
Let's reap this whirlwind.
Can we drop terror on these? Let's just have you guys run for a turn. Don't interrupt me, don't interrupt me, don't interrupt me. Alright, no interruption, we're fine. It's fine, chat. Let's flank this thing. Can I actually just mark it and then attack? Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, I can change Ader's shield. So far he's been okay, just standing in sort of the passive healing. Like, Ader dying has not been a problem. I really don't want to be fighting these things though, because they have so much health. I feel like I want to run over the archer, which I might just do.
That wasn't half bad.
Yeah, I think that's actually what I'm going to do. Alright, we terrified and weakened things. We stunned these two. Let's see. Put a firewall down. Might just do that. Penetrating strike. Archer's at half health, almost taken care of. Jody can get out of here. I think Pelagina can hold the others for a little bit. 36. That's a really decent bit of damage on that one. I revive. Let's pick Surfin up. Ooh, I can... Ooh. Greater... Oh, god damn it. It revives him at full health. I completely wasted that turn. I wasn't paying attention. A disaster, chat. A disaster? Okay, Firewall. Let's see if we get multiple ticks of damage off of that. If we do, great. If we don't, too bad. It's also not the end of the world if we have to back out and heal for this fight, because we kind of went in here unprepared and we knew we were going to do that, but that's okay too. Let's see, chat, what do we want to do? What do we want to do? We could grab something. I think that's actually what we're going to do. Let's grab this thing. One less enemy to have to worry about for a turn.
Yeah.
Mage gets a go. Back up. Roll a fireball? Seems like it might be okay. Jody can kill this. I don't know if that's worth it. Maybe I need to just make sure the mage doesn't die here, but... Well, no, because he could die to 2 unlucky hits. Maybe I want spell shaping on Jody because this isn't quite what I want it to be. Oh, actually, maybe it's all the things I want it to be. Except I think I missed Surfin there. I think it said it was going to hit him, and it didn't. Which, if that's the case, that's extremely frustrating, but... Yeah, no, Wool seems pretty good so far. I'm hoping that comes back and yeah, it bounced. Perfect. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted. Either kill the archer, have you come back and engage, and change your stance. That's why it changed, is because I upgraded it, so it disabled it and swapped it. Right, we should be fine on this fight now. This thing's technically not engaged with us, so I think we might actually just... What do you mean you cannot? Let's run over here and start killing this thing. Oh, sweet. So he should die, because when he moves again to try and attack us, he should just go down. What do we want to do next? I guess we can just do the triple hit here again. Okay, how is that not everything, chat? How do I... Like, this surely hits all 3 of them. I want to just see if it does. Because if it doesn't, I got actually robbed.
Separate the chaff. Tell me.
Ooh, we double crit there. That was sweet. Combustion wounds with wool, yeah. It sounds like a sick combo. Alright.
Yeah.
One less thing to worry about. Start killing this thing. Fortunately, that bounce doesn't quite go. Ooh, it did. Double hit score, chat. It worked. Perfectly planned. All according to plan. I'm just gonna drop a heal here just to make sure that the wizard doesn't die, basically. I think everyone else is fine. I just don't want the wizard to die for no reason. Let's see, piercing damage does 100%. Almost killed it. This does multi-shot. So we managed to hit both of them, which is fine. Alright, Lesser Bogoose is dead. That one should die to that. So I think we just run over here and do a force attack.
What are you doing?
Oh, I let Surfin die again. Right. I forget the resurrection. The Paladin resurrection's temporary and you have to overheal them. It's okay. It's okay.
Happy to oblige.
Now the other combination that seems pretty good is if you can terrify things here and have them run away when they're engaged with your warriors. That seems like another really strong combination you can do. I'm amazed that thing lived. Good for it, I guess. Bring this up again.
Yeah.
Now we start spam left clicking. Oh, the wall ran out. Frustrating. Alright, there we go. Not a bad fight.
Yeah?
Went in there unprepared and still did alright. Water Shaper's robe. Primal water. More Water Shaper stuff. Nothing super important. What's Seraphin's wounds look like? 2% of crits converted to hits. -2 penetration. -15% max health. I kind of just... actually kind of just want to go rest this off. Because I've got them across multiple characters from the last bit of adventuring we did at the lighthouse. Oh, you can just rest on the spot, right? I guess I'll say goodbye to my buffs, but I don't think I care. I don't think the one I have... yeah, 15% max health is whatever. It's fine. Oh, you can eat even in here. Oh, sweet. Question is, what do I want to eat? -10% damage taken, sure, and rice is cheap. Craft some food. I will at some point. I have a ton of mats. I haven't used anything yet. I'm that player that saves everything until the end of the game, and then doesn't ever use any of it. Guess let's chat to Jody. She sways on her feet, a soft low moan easing from her throat. She rubs a thumb over worry-bitten lips. You feeling okay? Sweat trickles a line from her temple to drip from her chin. Her eyes are hazy, far off.
Watcher.
Slowly she swallows, throat working to bring her voice back or to keep her meal down.
It's nothing but awakened terror. Soon to pass.
She shudders hard, coming back to herself.
You may want to aim away from our watcher there if it's gonna pass out of your mouth.
Appreciate you looking out, Ader.
Sorry. I know you're going through something there.
You could call it something, all right.
Want to talk about it?
Now, there's no need for that. Unless you see those shambling corpses too?
Yeah, I think we have to chat about this, Jody. You really are addle-brained. At her hastily whispered words, the hair on the back of your neck stands on end. You glance around just to be safe, but there's nothing to be seen. Nothing unusual, anyway, even in the direction Jody's staring, fixed. I don't see anything.
Figured it was a long shot. But I know you see things others don't, so
See you soon, Gold.
Hoped. You think I'd have learned by now. Hope's just a false light. I see a body of stitched together parts and flayed flesh. It's got 3 heads and 4 stretched limbs. On each of its heads curves 3 white horns from above 3 blind eyes. The beast is big as a mountain, and shambling toward us beneath the sun turned black as slow. I know it ain't really there. Lately, it's been getting worse. Some nights I wake sweaty and shaking. Other times, I'm already awake. I got my eyes wide open, staring down the darkness, watching one lantern after another flickering out. And every soul looks so ripe, darn near rotten with a need for reaping.
We can relight the lanterns of hell given enough time. All is not lost.
I sure hope you're right, Watcher. 'Cause if you're wrong... No. I know you're right. God's chosen me.
Her storyline reminds me so much of Los's.
So until I figure out what's needed of me, I'll do my darndest to help you on your path. We'll figure this out together.
Is there anything we can do to alleviate her nightmares?
Carrying more souls than I've ever shepherded before. So, I don't know that it'll work this time, but used to be. When the dreams were riding me hard, I'd cleanse my soul before gone. If we stop by the temple in Nekataka, I can perform the ritual. Please, I need the relief. It won't take more than a minute under Gon's statue, that's all.
Welcome back.
Curse on all snakes.
Well, she almost got them. She was pretty close. The Guildmaster lifts her gaze to meet yours, her eyes struggling to focus. She's been slashed and stabbed numerous times, and her robes are soaked red with blood.
Too many, even for me.
Well, Nakaza sent me to find you, but I think you need a healer first.
No time for that, I say.
Forget the fact that we have a priest standing literally right next to her.
The rod of the deep. Ugh, I've lost it. Taken. You'll need to...
Myru coughs, spitting up blood. For every word she struggles to voice, her breath gets progressively shallower. No multi-class? Not on this run, at least. I didn't want to lock myself out of the deep tiers, and I don't know how it works. Right? I wanted to see the end game abilities, and I didn't know if multi-classes restricted that.
Find the rod. Get through the stone door by the entrance.
That to me is the best part about CRPGs, is when you're at near max level and your mages are just so incredibly powerful. It restricts level 9 and 10. Yeah, see, I wanted to see those. I want to see what the max level class abilities are like. I'll find the rod, just try and stay with me.
Wards. Failing. Hurry, before it escapes.
You're already gone. Find peace in the beyond.
Pitied Isengati, Lady of Lament, as the pearl orb of the heavens.
She wheezes as she struggles to get the words out. It doesn't sound like she's even addressing you any longer. Guildmaster eyes glaze over, and she falls silent. Do we grab her soul?
The wheel. How it tugs at me. Akira, and how bright you look.
Myra's attention snaps toward a distant speck of light, but she shakes it off to remain in the moment.
At least in death, I can complete a thought. My rod and the words of Pariki's devotion will open the way to the inner sanctum, past the sealed door. Pitied Isengati, Lady of Lament. As the pearl orb of the heavens crosses her view, her eyes well with tears, as constant as rain. But the moon's skyward journey continues apace, the lover's affection as ephemeral as fingers touching. You must strengthen the wards, no matter what it tells you.
Thank you, Myra. Rest well. Her mouth moves again, emitting no sound. As she fades from sight, she raises her hand to point toward the entrance of the sanctum. Oh, I'm still sitting here just thinking about Divinity Original Sin 2 and how jealous I am that you get to go through that. So damn good. The end game in that was so satisfying as well. Some of the final bosses were so unexpectedly badass. I can't disarm it. I guess we can leave it alone for now. I'm not too worried about it. See what else is hiding in this sanctum. Looting the dead, looting the dead. At least that's what I think this is. Maybe not. No. It's a library or a storage room of some kind. Didn't like that you can pick up so many things you need to check all over for items. The solution there is kind of just not to worry about it as much, especially in the beginning. It does throw a lot of that at you at the beginning, but like that environmental combat system is so fucking good, and the way you learn spells and can multi-class without having to really multi-class, I don't know, the whole thing is super enjoyable. And they've patched it a lot since I first played it, so it may be different.
Careful. Look.
Ziha. Maybe we come back to this after the front. Maybe they're related. So let's go check up here first. But yeah, the boat is the very beginning of the game, which makes sense because you said you didn't play for long. Read the inscription. Oh, can I not do the thing?
Huh?
So maybe I do need to deal with the Nagas. So let's go deal with the Nagas first. Or maybe this thing's holding what I need. So let's take our highest HP character, trigger this trap, probably take an injury from it. Exceptional scale armor, though. That's probably an upgrade. I have no idea what that trap did.
Sorry, friend.
Technically, that was stealing. Statue depicts an Omana woman, her hand extended and grasping at the air. An eroded plaque sits by her feet. Something about the statue calls out to you, the echo of a fractured soul that tarried in this place for long and thoughtful years. You feel victory tinged by grief and regret. Expect the lingering soul. Pick a hero and max mechanics. Yeah, I thought I was doing it on Surfin. I don't know if I'm just not... I may have switched to stealth at some point. Your vision bobs with the motion of the sea. You stand aboard the deck of swift winds where your mates share bemused, self-congratulatory glances as they work. One of them claps your back with approval. You step back and aim a reproachful look at your mate, however friendly his intent. You know there will be a time for reprieve when you are squared away in Nekataka. Something cuts through the water to your port side, an enormous shape just beneath the waves. Someone shouts that the winds have turned in your favor at last. This is followed by an enthusiastic cheer among the crew. You don't share their mirth. Eyes to the horizon, I say. You bring home a mighty gift, though it takes an unusual form. One that you prayed to Nagati will be able to keep in check. The vision dissipates and your land legs reassert themselves. Attempt to read the plaque. Cross the leg, back, murdered, cunning, deal, nay, wrist, soul, freedom. Closer scrutiny reveals that the inscription was purposefully marred, an act of sabotage done perhaps years ago. By the thoroughness, you suspect Kith hands that hold her hand? You grasp her hand with tenderness. At first nothing happens, but then a tiny droplet of water forms at the corner of her eye and rolls down her cheek, dripping on the floor. Wipe away the tear. You reach out and draw the thumb down the statue's cheek, wiping away the trail of moisture. For a moment, the stone feels soft to the touch.
Hey, sure.
Say that may have opened the sarcophagus legitimately. I also think this is probably just better. Yeah, I think we're ditching second chance because we don't get knocked out. That doesn't help us that much. I think I'd rather have the exceptional scale armor on this one.
Eyes open.
Let's see, lots of ways we could come at this fight. Let's just pre-position. Let's have Mage and Seraphin.
Happy to oblige.
Let's actually do Ader up top because they're more likely to take the shortest path. I think that's the way the AI works. I don't know if that's entirely true, but see. I think technically we could take the first shot, but I don't really care enough. Let's just unstealth and go. Here's Jody's turn. I'm gonna just cast the brambles. We haven't tried the brambles spell yet, so let's just give it a go and see what happens. Penetration there. We need to cast Expose Weakness. I actually really don't like that this thing's channeling. I think we're gonna go stop that with Ader. We're just kind of gonna dive into the thick of it here. Might be bold, but I think we'll actually be okay. We can just hold here. We should be okay. Brambles is gonna feel a little silly now, but is what it is. It'll be okay, chat. Yeah, because they're not gonna walk towards us at all. Now I feel a little goofy, but
No rush. But if you have any antidotes handy, I'd be much obliged.
that was an interesting bit of pathing there, video game.
Can't move.
So there is something crazy I could do. I could withdraw him, which would get everyone to change their position, I believe. I think for right now, we're just gonna do something. I really wish you could spin this somehow with the controls, but as far as I can tell, there's no way to rotate the wall. You just have to kind of play with it, essentially. Let's actually just cast Confusion.
For the Republic!
What can I do you for?
So Jody, can you buff? Oh, you can just reach him. I love it. I love it. It's just able to get that buff off, and that's pretty big, I think. Okay, lots of confusion going on here, which is nice. Apparently they don't attack each other, though. I thought that's what confusion was, or maybe that's charm and confusion is just your AoE. If that's true, that's way worse than I want it to be. I want that spell to be a lot stronger than it is, if that's actually the case. I do... Oh, chat, it's just not good enough. How do I want to do this? Maybe like this? Because the archer's less likely to move, so I think we're actually just gonna cast it there. Hater, you're totally fine. Shut up, dude. But you're bitching. You're actually absolutely fine. You can kind of just hold the warriors. I'm happy to have you just hold them for now. Yeah, the scream, I'll do the scream here in a minute. I have to close in to do it, though. That was my plan, though, because it's AoE. It seems like it could be a good one to stun. It seems like the most fun. Oh, not the scream, the other one? At tier 3? Oh, you mean silent scream.
Tell me.
Or sorry, did you mean the tier 3 one? And what did I call this? Secret Horrors, sorry. Yeah, Secret Horrors. I did the right one, yeah. AoE gives them Frightened, which reduces their resolve and power level, and they can't use spells or abilities, and then reduce healing and max health seems fine. Elegina. For some reason you're not auto-selected. It's a solid hit, man. Alright, Brambles is still doing its thing, which is to say right now it's not doing much. Now I want to put down Expose Weakness. I think I'd also like to drop maybe Triumph of the Crusaders. Yeah, I've done the Aora combo before. The Aora combo, we had a pretty sweet interaction with keeping them all stuck in place while we waited for a gunpowder barrel to explode. That was pretty satisfying. Actually, let's just summon your weapons so that you do more damage. Alright, Ader's pretty hurt here.
I'd be much obliged.
Maybe I just swing. I think I'm actually okay to just swing this turn. Let's try and get some damage out. I can charge out of here on the next turn. I can also just withdraw him, which I think would be hilarious. Probably not very effective right now, but hilarious.
Happy to oblige.
He takes reduced healing, right? Why is it not giving me the full list?
Hey.
Whatever.
Happy to oblige.
Could do this, lower melee accuracy. That actually seems like it's pretty good right now. 3 hit, 1 crit, 1 graze.
Right.
Also just blast them all. Seems good too. Let's actually do an empowered. See how good this is. Hopefully he gets that off.
Be blowing a man down.
Good.
Gina. Attacking here again. He has healing, looks like.
Hey, no rush.
Alright, that was pretty solid damage. I don't care that Pelagina got hit because she's not really in trouble. You no longer have second wind, so we're going to activate Vigorous Defense. Then what are we going to do? Actually, know what I want to do right now. I guess we'll just get an extra attack in. Graze is unfortunate, but we'll survive. Misses coming in useful. That's the priest spell at work. Saving us a lot of damage here. That lasts for several rounds as well, so that should keep Ader in good health. Plan.
Happy to oblige.
What do we want to do now? He's still got Hardy on him, right? Yeah, for another like 10 rounds, so that's not going away anywhere. I might just drop a full heal. Let's actually just do the AoE. Yeah, that seems okay. Minor pick me up for everyone. No, I clicked too quickly. Why, video game? Why do you do this to me? See if we can just knock one of these out. Probably want to be using my empowers here just because this is still kind of dodgy. What's his name is still missing a lot of health. Ader is. I could drop. No, I don't need to drop another exposed and vulnerabilities. That doesn't seem that useful. Piercing seems pretty bad here as well. How's a Necrotic Bolt? Necrotic actually seems pretty good. Let's throw a Necrotic Bolt at the caster. I just want to kill this caster. I'm gonna pop Vigorous Defense here, most likely. To keep us up for another round. Make sure we don't take too much damage. Oh, interestingly, that's a pushback. Didn't go too far though, so we should be okay. Mobilized, but did not interrupt me. I don't know why this Naga is not taking damage from the firewall. I'm actually not entirely sure why 2 of them aren't. So let's grab one of these Naga and have him cast for us for a turn, or act for us. One less thing to worry about, and that removes flanked off of Ader.
What can I do you for?
Go with another buff. I can go with a solid attack.
Time to separate the chaff.
Yeah. We just attack here. We should be okay. We do take decent fire damage. Can I hit this group? I might just fling another Necrotic Bolt, honestly, to try and kill the caster off as soon as possible.
I am ready.
I think that's actually exactly what I'm going to do. I can also do Blinding Light. Make everything take a ton of damage. How's their fire resistance? Yeah, let's just do this. Mark it as an enemy. Kill it with her on the next round. Ader should still be fine here. Hopefully Necrotic Lance kills her now. Yep. Oh, he almost killed it for us. This should be pretty simple now. I don't think there's any way we lose. We are... we squarely outnumber them now. I think this will be a pretty tough one for us to actually lose to. Let's see. What do we want to drop? What do we want to drop? You can say the way I play, I can easily play on Path of the Damned difficulty level. Yeah, you'd said that before. Maybe I should turn it up.
What do you need?
I guess I could give that a try. I definitely could.
That wasn't half bad.
Close in and kill this thing, I guess. Just one by one, probably just start the left click spam here. I think Blessed still works on these. Yeah, if I could actually ever land one.
Captain.
Such high success rates. I miss a ton of spells. I love that level 1 spell's gotten so powerful now that we're a much higher level, because I think we're shooting extra bolts. It's definitely a feel-good moment every time that goes off.
Happy to oblige. Get threshed!
Ahoy. Another attack, Cap.
Yeah.
Yep, he killed that one. Throw these out. Now it just becomes a matter of left clicking.
What do you need?
Turn this way up.
What can I do? You get threshed.
Captain. Oh, they were a beaut.
Here we go. Again, not a bad fight.
I am ready.
Was not too much of an issue. To kill the totems, I'm actually not really sure what those are for at this point, but... Let's see. Neck piece. +1 int. I actually think that's just objectively worse than everything else. Oh, apparently I picked up the rod. Oh yeah, Rob of the Deep Hunter. So that's, yeah, so we need that to open the stone door to keep going. Right, gotcha. Let's see, I wanted to check out where that difficulty was at. Where is it under game? Difficulty, it's got its own thing. There's the largest number of enemies against the player, makes enemies more powerful, and utilizes the most devious AI tactics. This option is only intended for players who want the most punishing encounters. Maybe for a second playthrough, if I get that far, I'll turn it up, but I think for now...
Tell me.
I think for now I'll just stick with what I've got. And this must be the cave they rode in on. Yep. Tunnels where they came out. Loot this.
Yeah.
Maybe? Maybe? Nope. Alright.
What do you
Forget
need?
it, game. I don't need it that badly. Ooh. Something rattled and rolled. Touch the door with the Rod of the Deep Hunter. Begin to manipulate the dial. Study the symbols around the dial. Recognize the symbols themselves. First is the full moon, light beaming down on Aora. Next is one, a symbol of Odra, classically depicted with the head of an anglerfish in her aspect. Pair of hands. Oh, this is her. This is this related to the inscription she gave me? Is this in the journal? So it's moon, eyes, the other thing, fingers touching. Moon. Counterclockwise. Fish. The other thing. Doesn't seem like you're unlocking things in the correct order. Okay. What was it? Pearl Orb of the Heavens. Tears is constant. So, oh, Moon Rain. Oh, because she's the fish. So it's Fish, Rain, Moon, Fingers. Fish, Rain, Moon, Fingers. Counterclockwise. Fish. Moon. Rain. Fingers. Oh. Maybe not. Oh, video game. Say if I want help, I'll give it a few more attempts and actually think it through. I have no scaling on, partly because honestly, I don't really want to have to really fight through every single fight. Like, if I out-level stuff, I'm happy to just clear content and get to experience it. So full text is as follows. Pity Disnagati, Lady of Lament, as the pearl orb of the heavens crosses her view, her eyes well with tears as constant rain. But the moon's skyward journey continues apace, the lover's affection is ephemeral. Oh, it's 5. It's 5 things. It's the fish, the moon, the rain, the moon, the hands. Fish, the moon, the rain, the moon, the hands. Way. Fish. Moon. Rain. Moon. The hands. There we go. Yeah, okay. I thought it was 4 things because it was 4 symbols on the door and I wasn't paying attention. Okay, travel through the passage. The air beyond the passage is humid, reeking of stagnant water and something else, something old, which raises the hairs on the back of your neck. As you take your first step, an ear-splitting roar rises in volume and echoes down the passage, shaking loose the surrounding rock. Okay, I'm gonna just turn back and save, and then we're gonna go down here. You navigate the dark, narrow tunnel, pressing your shoulders together to fit the passage. Oh, no shit. It's a full fucking dragon. What? What? Alright, dope chat. I was not expecting this. As the massive upheaval of water settles, the air thickens with oppressive humidity. It takes a moment for your eyes to adjust before you can make sense of the shape that breached from the depths.
This would be a great fishing story.
I love Vader. He's so well written. He's hysterical. He's like the perfect, like, backwater country commentary on everything. I love it.
Perfetto. I am thrilled as always to walk into a dragon's lair with you, Watcher. Your path is littered with the creatures.
Galloway's feckin' spear. That there be a right bonny beast and a half.
Seraphin's my favorite writing, though, for obvious reasons.
Holy gone, but it's beautiful. And I'll bet smart as a whip and just as mean.
Have you come to deliver me from this prison of my own making?
Ooh. Do we make a deal with the dragon? Let me get my bearings first. Who are you?
I am Skirilophus, Guardian of the Isles.
You ever consider a nickname? Just give it some thought, is all I'm saying.
Say nothing?
You can only be here for one reason. You serve the Huana. This prison is built on a foundation of their lies.
What are you talking about?
You stand in the sanctum of the Water Shapers. Those who make parlor tricks of Ngati's art.
Yeah, he's hilarious. Ader's fantastic.
An art in decline. The Huana Covenant has failed. With each grain of sand surrendered to outsiders, Ngati draws her favor away from her chosen people. One struck in a different time, when the gods showered devotion on the Huana. The guild hides how their acolytes struggle. Their ancestral forms no longer respond as they once did. Soon, there will be no Water Shapers to remember them. When their mighty talent went into decline, I gave the Huana the strength to raise the very sea against our enemies. For my generosity, they bound me to this chamber by my soul. And now the Deadfire dies in my absence. The luminous Adra shrieks in agony, calling out for a guardian.
Interesting. I don't like the Queen. I'm not a huge Huana fan. I'm thinking I might just let the dragon go if that's a possibility. I'm realizing that may piss off the Queen, but at the same time, worst comes to worst, I get to fight a dragon later on, and I'm down for that. So let's read the soul. Your soul is stuck in here? Let me take a look.
You are a watcher. Of all the kith who could have entered this chamber, how intriguing.
Submerging in the dragon's soul feels at first disorienting, like pursuing the stacks of a vast library. Why don't I like the Queen? Well, she's got a ton of, like, strange comments that her thoughts that cross your mind, right? She's all about tricks. She wanted to basically rub her bloody victory in war over her enemies in their face, and I'm like, I don't know that that's a great idea. I'm not sure that she's the best. That's how I feel about it so far. The energy and vibrancy that should color his soul is gray and warm. From the shadows, a dark, formless thing reaches out to you in desperation. Wards around the stone floor drag the essence down and disperse its energy elsewhere to the Water Shaper students of Nekataka. As it touches you, the weight of the prison is like an anchor. You withdraw from the sensation, feeling shaky and depleted. I've looked into your soul, it's true.
Believe what you will. My duty to the archipelago is all that matters.
Dude, I'm down to be Dragon Bros.
Freedom comes like the tide, and the Deadfire heeds my call. I sense a rod among your belongings. My gift to Periki. My covenant with the Huana. Another broken promise. It made the enchantments of this prison and can destroy them. It can set me free.
Letting you go deprives the Water Shapers of a useful asset.
The Huana will struggle. If they are worthy, they will endure. Those who are wise will remember their covenant with ancient Ngati.
What happens to your captors, if I do as you ask?
The Huana have chartered their doom. I will not mourn their passing. Neither will I speed it along while they stand against the foreign tide.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a political thing. If the game's well written, it's probably kind of ambiguous on which side you should be on anyway, because there's probably pros and cons to both.
I will tolerate your curiosity.
What if we excise the imprisoned portion of your soul from the wrist?
No. My soul is not for the taking. Not by you, or any of the outsider spirit thieves.
No one's taking your soul, we're just letting most of you free, isn't that what you want?
How then? You have a plan for this mad scheme of yours?
Just one, you're not gonna like it. I'd take a closer look at the wardstones for a start.
Very well. I give you one chance. Time has weakened the wards enough that I can leave this cell without you. There will be a debt of pain that I have no wish to incur. Betray me, and I will summon as many waves of Naga as it takes to shatter this prison.
Okay, interesting. Raised wardstone stands out of the watery floor of the dragon's prison. The runes engraved along its surface glow with a pale light. Enchantments coursing through the stonework keep the dragon tethered to the spot and siphon energy from its soul. The spells of imprisonment look more recent. The siphoning enchantment here merely sips at the dragon's essence and disperses it elsewhere. You think it could be used to store the essence enough to last decades or longer if used responsibly. Try to siphon enough of the dragon's essence to empower the guild and break the imprisoning ward. Siriaphilus winces but makes no other protest. He shifts his weight from one leg to another as the runes of confinement begin to crumble. The wardstone itself flashes brighter than ever, resplendent with the dragon's powerful essence.
I feel irregular, lighter, but there is an absence as well. The burden of this prison is lifted. I will return to the beloved.
So maybe we manage the best of both worlds here because of our high mysticism roll. Your soul may recover in time. It's a formidable one.
I have had precious little cause for hope since I arrived in Nekataka. Until today.
He nods with approval. Hey, we got the nod of approval from a fucking dragon, chat. Feeling good about that one.
Should your hopes darken on the high seas, you will feel a welcome chill as my shadow passes over your deck. Depend on it.
Roaring with triumph, he aims his body at the rocky ceiling and takes off. Okay, so we basically got a get out of jail free card for maybe a death at sea. He'll just save us from one random encounter that kills us. The dragon begins to beat his wings, lifting his massive form above the ground of his watery prison. He stretches open his jaws and roars, and the ensuing blast blowing out the top of his prison, exposing it to the sky above. For the first time in untold years, natural light floods the interior of the fight. Or of the chamber. I was reading chat. No dragon fight. But where there's one dragon, I figure there's multiple dragons, right? Surely there's a dragon out there that's just a dick. And I get to just fight him and not feel bad about it. He snaps his wings a second time, flying through the exit with wild abandon, tilting at reckless, unpracticed angles as he builds incredible speed. When he emerges, shrieks of horror and dismay grow in volume. Moments later, as he passes out of view, you hear an explosion of splintered wood, upheaved water, and incredible devastation on the southwestern corner of the island. Ooh. Yeah. Maybe he wasn't so nice after all. Maybe he wasn't good guy dragon. He did some damage. Ooh, what are these? Oh, it's stuff. Hell yeah, free stuff, chat. Taking it all. So I'm guessing by this standing and activating this that the idea is when you fight the dragon, you need to have someone on each position to keep all the wards up at once. That's likely a mechanic. Alright, that said, fortunately, I do have work in the morning and it's, holy shit, it's 3 a.m. Yep, I've got to be up in just a couple of hours for work. Gold, thanks for stopping by, as always. This concludes part 12 of Deadfire. I think I've streamed over like 22 hours of this so far. Drop the follow if you want to know when I'm going to be live next, because I'm just too erratic. I try and stream each evening if I can, but you know, life, and we're busy. But cheers for tuning in. It was good talking to you again, man. Have a good day out there in Sweden. Talk to you later.